The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome everybody to the third instalment of the Tourism Australia Signature Partnership webinar series. Obviously the first one was regarding the initial launch of the great partnership between Signature Travel Network and Tourism Australia and the 4 participating states that you'll be hearing from today. The 4 states are South Australia Tourism Commission, you'll be hearing from Lisa Cohen, Northern Territory, which is Amanda Ladd, and Western Australia, which is Sandra Nerlich, and I'm Matthew Jones from Tourism Victoria. Thank you very much for your time today. Today we'll be talking about there's nothing like arts and culture in Australia. As I said, my name's Matthew from Tourism Victoria. I'm just going to do a very brief introduction. On this next slide you'll see a map of Australia, just highlighting where Victoria is. I'll be starting off and then handing over to the lovely Lisa Cohen from South Australia. And then, I apologise, Amanda Ladd from Northern Territory will be following me, then South Australia with Lisa Cohen, and then Western Australia with Sandra Nerlich. So just a bit of arts and culture of Victoria. On this slide I've outlined where our events are. That's a big part of our culture. Melbourne's known as the sporting and fashion capital of Australia. We have the Australian Open Tennis in January, Melbourne Spring Racing Carnival in November, of course the Formula 1 Grand Prix, which just took place this past weekend, and the Melbourne Food and Wine Festival will be coming to a close this weekend in Melbourne. Fantastic experience. I'd highly encourage you all to Google the Coffee Urban Farm. Fantastic experiences down there along the South Bank area. On the next slide, I'm sort of just going to highlight some key experiences that you'll be able to really get into the culture of Melbourne and Victoria. Hidden Secrets Tour is a fantastic touring experience that your clients can do. It has a variety of different tours that I'm going to go through in a minute. The Foodie's Dream Tour is part of a tour in Victoria that you can do at the Queen of Victoria Market. And then Australian Rules Football, which was born and bred in Victoria. Actually started out as the Victorian Football League, and then the rest of Australia worked out what a great game it was and wanted to take part in it. So the next slide here that I'm just going to show you guys is a map of the downtown area of Melbourne. This is where the Hidden Secrets Tour will take you in that rectangle grid-like formula there. And the next slide is outlining all the different tours that Hidden Secrets does. So they do daily walking tours. The names of those tours that you can do is the Lanes and Arcades is their signature tour. That takes you through all the different little lanes and arcades, all the coffee shops, the different shopping experiences you can do. Then they have 3 different variations throughout the course of each day as well that are done in the afternoon. A coffee and cafe culture tour taking you to a lot of the local cafes throughout Melbourne. Then an architectural walk tour throughout the city of Melbourne, pointing out all the different architects' designs and how Melbourne was actually Australia's first design city. And then the Somalis City Walk, which is taking you to different restaurants and bars, and this takes place at about 5 p.m., just in time for a little bit of happy hour. Then, of course, is our sports culture. The Australian Tennis Grand Slam, of course, in January, rugby union, motorsport, cricket, and, of course, Australian Rules Football that I outlined there. Sports is a huge part of the Melbourne city culture. We're very passionate about our sports, and we do our sports very well. We have the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which was the home to the 1956 Olympics, is Australia's largest sporting stadium and can hold upwards of 105,000 people at the great MCG, all walking distance from the Melbourne CBD. So any of your clients can do different tours in Melbourne out to the Melbourne Cricket Ground and alike. I'd highly recommend it. Check out the sporting schedules. These are all on visitmelbourne.com of different sports that they can all do. On the next slide is just my contact details. My name again is Matthew Jones. I'm with Tourism Victoria based in Los Angeles. That has my email and phone number if you ever need anything. I'm now going to pass you on. You're going to go to the Outback here with Amanda Ladd and learn everything about the Northern Territory. So take it away, Amanda.
Thanks, Matt. Hi, everyone. My name's Amanda Ladd. I'm with Tourism Northern Territory. And you're going to go ahead and see a map now of how big the territory is. It's about 1/6 of Australia's total size, which, to give you some perspective, that's about 3 times the size of California. A lot of area, a lot of great things to see. But today we're going to go to the top end, and you'll see a map here of the top end. So you'll see to the left we have a highlighted blue section, and that's the Darwin region. Next to that we have a light green section, and that's Kakadu and Arnhem Land. And those are the 2 sections where we're going to focus today. And there's also the other green section there, which is Katherine, which is the 3rd region of the top end. But Kakadu is the largest national park in Australia, and it is the 2nd largest national park in the world. But how do you get there? That's where you have to start. So you'll see on the next slide here, you'll have domestic airways. So you have Qantas, Virgin, and Jetstar coming out of all the major cities in Australia, as well as international. You have Qantas, Virgin, American, Philippine Airlines, which is actually starting in June, and you can fly through the Philippines directly to Darwin. So we're really excited about that, as well as Singapore Airways. You can also get to Darwin through the Ghan. And that goes from Alice Springs and or Adelaide. But we recommend starting in Darwin and then heading down. So once you're there, where are you going to stay? In the Mary River Wetlands, which is about halfway between Darwin and Kakadu itself, you have Bamaroo Plains and Wildman Wilderness Lodge. Bamaroo Plains, 5-star, very nice. They only have 9 safari bungalows, so it's very exclusive. As you can see from the image, you sleep right out, and you're right in the midst of the outback, which is fantastic. And then to the right you have Wildman, which has a general safari lodge. They have habitats as well as safari tents. And then in Darwin itself you have Mantra on the Esplanade and Sky City Darwin. And Sky City was a 5-star, and it was just completed in August, so it's undergone some major renovations there, and it's looking great. And in terms of dining, there's a few great dining experiences in Darwin as well. The nice thing about this is you can see almost all of them have a great harbor view. It's really fantastic because top-end sunsets really are spectacular. So you have Pee-wee's, which has local produce and seafood, so it's very fresh. It's all from the region. Darwin Sailing Club is great for a social drink, happy hour or a brunch maybe. Buzz Cafe is great for al fresco dining, and what's interesting about this cafe is that every single seat has a waterfront view because of the way it's designed. So no matter what table you're at, you have a view, which is fantastic. And there's also Char Restaurant, and that's actually in a heritage listed house in Kakadu, or in Darwin, and that has formal, informal, group dining, so that's kind of a bit more relaxed. And then into Darwin, so the Sunset Beach Markets at Mindle Beach, very popular. They run from the end of April to the end of October. And what's great about these is you're able to soak up the sunset, enjoy the flavors and the cuisine and the culture of Darwin. You're seeing locals, you're seeing other international travelers. So it's a really great way to experience Darwin. Also, if you have anyone there, from the 8th to the 25th of August, there's the Darwin Festival. And you'll see an image here. And what's nice about this is it is an arts and culture festival. So it's really one of the premier events in the region, in the Asia-Pacific region, just because of the programming they have. It's just spectacular. It is, quite a bit of time there, so that's really nice. If your travelers can hop in for a day or two, just kind of really mingle in with the culture and the vibe of Darwin. It is so close to Asia. There's a lot of influence in the foods and the culture, so it really is an interesting perspective there as well. We also have the Tiwi Islands, which is another option out of Darwin for a day. It's known as the Island of Smiles, which is great. I mean, it's a very vibrant culture out on the Tiwis, and you can get there by light aircraft or ferry. And they also have the Grand Final and Art Sale, and that's on Bathurst Island. It actually just happened this past weekend on the 17th of March, but it does happen every year, and it gives you an opportunity to buy Tiwi arts and crafts, and it's at community prices. So it's really nice. You're getting basically like a family discount. You're seeing who's making these. Really nice interactions there. And you can also watch the football grand final. So it's a really fun, it's a great experience if you have anyone there at that time. It's something I'd highly recommend checking out. And then on into Arnhem Land. So a second day of touring, maybe out of the top end, you'd head out to Arnhem Land, Mount Borrowdale. As you can see by the rock art in here, the magnitude is just spectacular. It is a registered sacred site, and it has 50,000-year-old Aboriginal rock art. And in the area around Mount Borrowdale, you also have occupation and burial sites. So there really is, it's a great way to kind of blend arts and culture into one fantastic Aboriginal experience here. Also, Arnhem Land has Victoria Settlement, which, so interestingly enough, is one of 2 failed settlements that the British tried on the Coburg Peninsula. And they built a governor's residence at the time, and it was the first elevated house ever built. So it's actually a very interesting location, really cool to check out. That's open from May to October, and it's accessible via boat. You will need a permit, so it's recommended to take a tour out there if you're going to head out there. And then finally, you can't go to the top end without seeing Kakadu. So, of course, very popular picture. You see it many times. Stunning scenery. Uber Rock actually is home rather to one of the famous art galleries in Kakadu. It's about a half-a-mile walking trail, about 1 kilometer. And the galleries feature arts, the Dreamtime Sisters, Rainbow Serpent. So there's actually different galleries you can view. So they've actually separated their art, which is really interesting. And there's also Nurulandi Rock Art Site, and that's about 1 mile around. You'll see that here. It's about 1 mile walking trail, so about 1.5 kilometers. And during April and October, so in that time frame, rangers come out and they speak about how the local people view it, what the beliefs are, how it ties in. So that's really interesting. And most of this art focuses on the creation ancestors. And if you really have travelers that want to really immerse themselves and know all they can about the culture, the Cultural Center is a fantastic resource. It explains the cultures of the traditional landowners of Kakadu, as well as hunting techniques and how they correlated with the different seasons of the year. So it's quite interesting. And then, of course, you can't go to Kakadu without doing a cruise. This particular cruise is on the East Alligator River, and you have an Aboriginal guide that provides you with the insights into the culture, as well as they show you the traditional hunting techniques and the gathering techniques, so you're able to see firsthand and really experience it and immerse yourself in it, which is really unique experience. So without taking up any more time, if you do want to find more information about any of these sites, we have 2 options for you. You can go to australiasoutback.com, which you see on the left, and we also have the tourismtopend.com.au, and that's the Top End's tourism website. And then we do currently have a campaign running. It's called Outback Your Way, and we do have a couple signature preferred wholesalers on there. And they're offering free touring. The options are in Ayers Rock, Alice Springs, and in the Top End. And there are some fantastic Top End packages, so I really encourage you to take a look at this. It's outbackyourway.com. And then you'll see my info here. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me directly. And without any more about the Northern Territory, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Lisa from South Australia.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Hey everyone, this is Lisa here in Los Angeles with South Australia Tourism. I just wanted to give you a quick look at where we are located in comparison. As you probably are familiar, you cannot fly direct into Adelaide, so you'll have to connect through Sydney or Melbourne or Perth, go visit Sandy, or you could start up in Darwin with Amanda. But either way, this is where we are. So Adelaide is the capital city, as you know. Here is just a snapshot of how the city is built, and because it is surrounded by parklands and it is a very accessible 20-minute within walking distance city, it's really ideal for those who want to kind of get a snapshot of the heritage, the history, the culture, the local community by exploring it for a couple of days. You're probably familiar with the Art Gallery of South Australia. This is a great collection of colonial art. I'm kind of giving you a picture of where we all came from. And then the Aboriginal Culturals Gallery is fantastic. It has Indigenous artifacts. Oh, the daily tours there. Sorry, mine is going on a auto slide. Let me just go back real quick, if I can. No. Okay, well, I'll skip to the fact that South Australia is known as the Festival State. It's home to a number of artistic, visual, theatrical, and multicultural events throughout the year. And March is actually probably the biggest time to come down and experience a lot of these festivals. They all take place end of February, early March. And there are 3 festivals in Adelaide that get international acclaim, and they attract people from all over the world. You'll see here is the Adelaide Fringe Festival, And it really brings the city to life. The parks, the streets, warehouses, they're all transformed in these sort of pop-up venues. And there are over 900 events that will take place over the course of a month. It features theaters, art galleries, cafes, cabaret and comedy, film, puppetry, live music, film screenings, and artists worldwide come over to participate. At night, it really gets very vibrant. As you can see here, there's live performances, crowds come all through, and it's quite an event. The Adelaide Festival is another one that takes place during March, and it's celebrated for innovative and really inspiring artistic performances, and it's gathered from all around Australia and around the world. So it's more music-centric, theatrical, adventurous, and very contemporary. And this year it was actually, the program was directed by someone who came from Los Angeles at UCLA, David Sefton. So he's known for his great performances and direction here in the States. So he had an opportunity to collaborate this year, and it was a showstopper. And also what just took place is WAMADelaide, which stands for the World of Music, Dance, and Art and Dance. And musicians from all over the world come to participate, and it's very, very eclectic. Singers and dancers. Sorry, this is going on auto here. Let me back up for a second. There are many different stages, workshops, hundreds of stalls, and ways to kind of get the best of eclectic music in Australia. Another iconic event for Adelaide is the Calypso 500, which is the largest domestic motorsport event. And the 2012 event had over 250,000 people come to the city. So it's a really, really fun way to kind of, if you're in town during February, it usually takes place. And of course, another annual event that we love is in January, which is the Santos Tour Down Under. And it celebrated its 15th year this year. And it's a week-long race that brings the top cycling competition, and it goes through all of the icons of South Australia. So you go to the wine regions, McLaren Vale, and it's a great way for visitors to kind of just enjoy and spectate through the adventures, and even participate. There's elements where they can hop on their bike and participate as well. But the last thing I wanted to draw your attention to was on Kangaroo Island, which actually has a huge local community art scene that not many people are aware of. And Fine Art Kangaroo Island is an example of that. It's located right there in the heart of Kingscote, and it displays a number of local artists with their unique styles and their inspiration from the dramatic landscapes, from just the heritage. And it's beautiful stuff to be able to collect and take home with you after your journey. So that's just a snapshot of some of the beautiful art and culture there in South Australia. Please contact us here at any time if you have any questions. I'm happy to give you some itinerary suggestions or insider secrets to the best of the art. So I will pass it over to Sandy to talk about Western Australia.
Right. Wow. Some great stuff happening in Adelaide. Who knew? Fantastic. Well, of course, we are Western Australia, and the name is a dead giveaway. We are located on the west coast of Australia. We are Australia's largest state and take up 1/3 of the continent. This map really is ideal in representing 5 regions within the state, offering a variety of interests for art and culture. But the main gateway to the state is via Perth, and some of the best ways to get there would be also via some of our gateways, such as Melbourne. Adelaide would be great to take the Indian Pacific train all the way to Perth. Be a fantastic opportunity for those North Americans looking for a great train journey. And then, of course, we're very close to the Northern Territory, providing itineraries that do complement both experiences in the Northern Territory and Western Australia. So this gives you an example of the lifestyle and culture of the city of Perth. We are Australia's sunniest capital. We have 3,000 hours of sunshine a year. Within the city limits, we've got fantastic art galleries. We've got Australia's oldest mint. We've got beautiful parklands and gardens. In fact, we have the world's largest inner city park in the city of Perth, which offers a fantastic 1.5-hour Indigenous heritage tour. A great way to get some interesting comments for those who only get to stay within Perth about Indigenous culture. The city of Perth also is surrounded by 19 beautiful beaches. And this slide gives you a great example of the lifestyle and experiences to be had, from the arts to fine dining to the summer months where we have our rooftop movie nights on top of various buildings around the city. High tea can also be had, and great shopping and festivals. Western Australia, for the art of food and wine, we have some fantastic locations. To start with, we have our Margaret River region, which boasts some amazing culinary trails where we can taste back truffles. We can also go through the olive groves and do some olive oil tastings, some great cooking classes to be had there. Also, Western Australia is known for its fresh fish, and in fact, as far as rock lobster go, we produce 65% of Australia's export on rock lobster. As far as the other culinary delights, we've got great microbreweries. We've also got great opportunities for a farm-to-table experience, because the climates, the 5 different climates that you can get out of Western Australia, produce some amazing tropical fruits to cherries to great peaches and apples. And then, of course, within our wine region, we have places where we can enjoy cheese factories, chocolate factories, and more. For art and culture, we've got Woolgoolga Nyingda Eco Adventures out in Monkey Mia, and they provide a wonderful experience offering Indigenous culture. You'll see from the next few slides as we go along here, there are several places around the state to experience Aboriginal culture. This is our gateway to Ningaloo Reef, which is the world's largest fringing reef closest shore. And the area of interest that we're speaking of now is known as Monkey Mia, which is a short flight, just a couple hours from Perth, and they could be snorkeling in some amazing waters. This is also home to the Monkey Mia dolphin experience, whereby for 30 years the same pod of dolphins have come to the shore. Woolgoolga Nyingda offers a fantastic opportunity to be told about the Dreamtime stories, and also provide either stories at night. They can do kayak tours, all taking in the stories of Indigenous culture. Heading to the north, we have Coodjaman at Cape Leveque. And Cape Leveque, if you can look at the map on the left-hand side there, is actually at the tip of the peninsula of our northwest, which is at the top part of our state. And the main gateway would be via Broome. It's about 3 hours north of Broome, and this is a great opportunity either for a day tour with an Aboriginal guide offering spearfishing, a chance to go over across to the horizontal waterfalls, which is quite a unique phenomenon and only found in the world in Western Australia. And basically, it is a waterfall that actually flows like any normal waterfall up and down, but when the tides rush into the gorges, it actually fills up the gorges, creates a waterfall that flows sideways. Other options would be Home Valley Station in the East Kimberley. When we speak of the East Kimberley, we're talking about arriving into Kununurra. And Kununurra, to give you an idea, is very close to the Northern Territory, so we border the Northern Territory. The access to Home Valley Station is very close to Kununurra. If you have any clients that are doing any of the Kimberley cruising across between Broome and Darwin, this would be a great place to have them stay prior to their cruising options. They offer cattle mustering one time during the year. Also, this is one of the spots where Australia the movie was filmed, so there's some great unique experiences to be had. Then we have Australia's widest beach in Esperance. This is known as Lucky Bay. And as you can see, there's kangaroos that sunbake here on this beach. But there is also a fantastic tour with a company called Kepler Curl, who offer great insight to that particular region's Indigenous culture. They also do some archaeological tours, and really great chance for anyone traveling down to Margaret River and the Southern Forest to get access to Aboriginal culture. Another way to experience our Indigenous culture would be to take our cruises. We have several companies, Orion Cruises, North Star Cruises, and a few others that provide cruising options. And in there you can see this is really a chance to get back to nature. Most of the big boats have smaller vessels that can get into the gorges, and they take you to some very special places within Western Australia that very few people have traveled to. And in fact, this particular area that they visit offers some amazing rock art, and there are over a million petroglyphs of rock art in this particular region. And of course, if they want to taste some bush tucker and really get into the culture, they're welcome to try our Ridgety grubs. And within Western Australia culture, you have to realize, looking at some of these images in front of you right now, that we have some extraordinary places to experience that. And looking to our events, we have some great opportunities and a variety of choices. Last year, we introduced our Perth International Golf event, and that particular event happens in October. It has the largest purse in Australia, worth $2 million, and it brings the top golfers in the world. And as I say, last year was the inaugural event, so we're looking forward to 2013. We also have our Perth Fashion Festival, which happens in the city, and that happens during the year in November, so look out for that. Then, of course, we have our Margaret River Gourmet Escape, and this really was an inaugural event last year. 25 chefs from around the world come to this particular event. It really is a 3-day festival of some of the best food and wine experiences, cooking classes, barbecues on the beach, and that happens in November. We have the Argyle Diamond Ord Valley Muster event. Highly recommend this. Again, if you have anyone doing any of the cruises between Darwin and Broome, this would be a great time to go into Connemara. It happens in May. They've got some great activities. You can see from some of the images there. We've got Curtis Stone that has done the Kibberlin Kitchen. We are very near the Argyle Diamond Mine, which is one of the largest diamond mines in the world. It actually has the rare pink diamonds. And what they do during the festival is they bury diamonds in an area, and folks can actually go in and try to dig for diamonds. And those are some of the examples of the activities. And then we have our Margaret River Surf Pro. We just received the nomination as one of the top 10 surfing events in the world. So we are now on par with Hawaii and other places that are quite well known for surf. And then we have some natural assets and the events that go on. And one is the Staircase to the Moon. And you can see an image in front of you there. It is the moon at night. And from April through October, what happens in this area, our tides are very quick. And when the tides are low and the moon is full, it creates the Staircase to the Moon. And what happens in the township of Broome, they offer a festival to delight in the experience. And that happens a couple times a month during that season. And then, of course, we have our humpback whale season, which means 35,000 humpback whales from June to December travel up and down the coast of Western Australia, and it is quite a sight to see. And then we have, quite uniquely, the whale shark season. This is the world's biggest fish, and it actually comes to our shores here in Western Australia. And it does have a very short season, so if you're planning time for your clients, it would be from April to July. And then finally, our wildfire season, which is the world's largest display of wildfires. We've got 12,000 species, of which 80% of those can only be found in Western Australia. And that's it for me, a bit of a taste of Western Australia. My details are on the side. I'm more than happy to help you at any time. And that concludes our presentation for today. We have recorded this webinar if there's anyone with any interest in obtaining the presentation. And we thank you for your support, and we are delighted to all be a part of the Signature Travel Network campaign. Thank you. Bye for now.